I put away my existing coffee machine and replaced it with this, the Latticia OT from Melitta. I've been using it for the last few weeks, but will I put it back in its box or will I keep it out and make it my daily machine? Hello, Nick here from TechNuovo and welcome back to the channel. So yes, a few weeks ago I packed away my Sage coffee machine and grinder and replaced it with the Latticia OT coffee machine from Melitta. Out of the box is a relatively sleek and compact machine with a size of about 200 wide by 320 high by 370mm deep, so it doesn't take up too much space on your kitchen counter and is actually one of the smaller machines from Melitta. To the front of the machine at the top are various buttons, a rotary knob for quantity, i.e. size of your drink, then quick buttons for espresso or just black coffee, cappuccino and latte macchiato, as well as brewing strength, milk froth and a service button. The power button to turn the machine on and off is also located there. There is an auto off feature so you can walk away and not worry about turning it off. Above those buttons is a small display which illuminates red, showing settings, what's happening and when it needs cleaning. Below that is the outlet for the coffee and the attachment for the milk. The outlet is height adjustable so you can slide it up and down depending on the size of your mug or glass and the coffee you want. There is a removable tube that plugs into the side of it and the other end of that attaches to the milk pipe which you insert into a milk jug. Below that is the drip tray. It's chrome and it's got a red indicator float which tells you when it needs to be emptied. Pull the drip tray out and you'll gain access to the used coffee pucks. They come out of the brewing unit and fall into a small container. You can remove that container and put the pucks in the bin or compost them. To the rear of the machine you have the bean hopper and that is where you put your coffee beans into. It will hold one of those small 225 gram bags of beans and it's somewhat airtight. I personally only put a small amount of beans in every time I use it and keep the rest of the beans in a different airtight container. Also at the back is the water container. It will hold up to 1.5 litres of water plus a filter inside it too, which I highly recommend. I also prefer to use bottled water in my coffee machines as I live in a hard water area and it's ruined machines and kettles in the past. To the right hand side of the machine is the brewing unit, which is where the magic happens. The plastic side panel comes off and you can then unblock and pull the brewing unit out and clean it when needed. In terms of spec and features, it's a bean to cup machine, so it has a built-in grinder that will grind whatever beans you wish, ready to pull a shot. I believe it's got a conical steel burr grinder with 5 levels of settings and it's advertised as quiet, but it's not really that quiet at all. Quick buttons as mentioned before for your favourite coffees, self-cleaning plus it's easy to clean yourself as well, large water tank, semi-airtight bean hopper, pump pressure at 15 bar max. It can use up to 1500 watts of power and retails for £550 here in the UK. Setup is pretty simple, it's pretty much plug and play. Upon first use, the machine will flush through some water and then allow you to create your first drink. They recommend you throw away the first few drinks you make to get rid of that new machine plasticky taste. You can also set the hardness of your water. You get a test strip in the box, use it, take the reading and then set the hardness between soft and very hard. With that result, the machine will then prompt you to descale it after a set number of uses, i.e. soft water you descale after 150 litres has passed through, very hard is only 30 litres. Therefore you've got to descale more if you've got harder water. There are various options and settings to fiddle with and over time you'll get to know what suits you best. The quantity dial outputs at 25ml, i.e. an espresso, and goes up to 220ml, i.e. a cappuccino. This is the total quantity of drink, so coffee and milk. You can brew 2 beverages at the same time or one big one by pressing the respective coffee button twice in succession. Coffee or brewing strength in 3 stages, say low, medium and high strength if you wanted. This determines how strong your coffee comes out and I generally stuck in the middle with 2 beans, i.e. medium. Grind settings are available. The machine has been set up for an optimum grind, but you can finesse this if you want. However, they recommend not doing this until you've dispensed 100 coffees or more, assuming to give the grinder some time to settle maybe. If you want to change the grind settings, take the side panel off and you'll find a slider to adjust. Brewing temperature can also be adjusted and it's quite an important feature as some people love boiling hot coffees. You can adjust via a number of button commands as noted in the manual and set it to low, medium or high, low being 85 degrees Celsius, high being 95 degrees. Moving on to milk, a must-have, or at least for me. This time it's a little bit different to other Melitta machines I've tried, and you'll either love it or hate it. With some of the other models, you get a milk container with a straw built into it for milk. You'd fill it up with milk, get it out of the fridge, and then put it back in once used. Quite easy, I thought. With this model, you get this metal straw that attaches to the main outlet, and then you insert that into a milk bottle, carton or jug. It works fine, but if you have large bottles of milk, which we sometimes do in the UK, it won't reach the bottom of that bottle, and then you'll have to pour the milk into a smaller cup or jug and then do it that way. For me, not a problem as I have glass bottles, but it might be inconvenient for some. That aside, it works a treat. The cold milk gets sucked up, passes through the machine, and comes out hot and frothy. Frothy is the correct term. It's hot, thick and airy. It is not silky and textured like you would get with steaming the milk yourself. Generally speaking, it makes a very nice cup of coffee. As a shot, a nice crema, quantity and temperature, although it may take some time to fine tune that. Taste is personal and depends on what beans you're using. Try lots, find the ones you like the most and then use them. The grind seems good. The pucks that come out are clean, not too soggy or too dry, so extracting well. Something bigger, a cappuccino, again, more than hot enough for me. Quantity or size depends on how you dial in, but for a normal mug, perfect. For something a little bigger, i.e. a travel mug, it won't fit under the outlet, so you need to make the drink in a jug and transfer it over, plus doubling it up too to fill it up, or at least I needed to do that in the mornings. Cleaning the machine is somewhat automatic and it will rinse or flush through the system and pipes after every drink if you want, as well as when you turn the machine off or it turns itself off due to inactivity. You can then also run any of those cleaning processes yourself if you wanted to, as well as taking the brewing unit out and giving that a clean as well. For descaling, the machine will prompt you as and when it's time, and you'll have to put a descaling tablet in the brewing unit and it will clean itself. The main outlet can be taken apart, lots of little pieces. If you're confident in doing that, you can clean that as well. Cleaning is somewhat messy. You certainly need to wipe down the drip tray after each auto rinse, or it will leave milky residue and not look that great. Overall, it's a very nice, easy to use coffee machine that anyone can use. It's tidy, looks good in my kitchen and doesn't take up too much space either. It delivers good coffees, although they may not be large enough in some circumstances, but there are workarounds. I'm not hugely keen on the milk arrangement and much prefer the milk jug setup Melitta offer on their other machines, but they are more expensive. If you want quick, easy, tasty coffees, you can't go wrong with this machine. If you want to learn the art of being a barista, you might be better off with an espresso machine and a grinder. I'm going to keep using this machine for a little bit longer, so if you have any comments, drop them in the section below and I'll try and get back to you.